So first time teaching with the two cats here, and one of them is pretty interested in my electronic devices somehow. So hopefully she's not going to do any damage to the class tonight. He's hoping. But yeah, once you're ready, actually see if you can gather something like 2 blocks or something similar to them, like 2 big books or 2 water bottles, and a blanket, especially have a sensitive knee. Sometimes maybe just one knee, like my left knee is actually more sensitive than my right. Better to be prepared than looking for things in the middle of the practice. Once you gathered everything that you need, come lie down on your back. Just let the back of you, your arms, your legs sink into the space beneath you. You can choose close your eyes or not. If you decide to keep your eyes open for any reason, make sure that your gaze are on one spot on the ceiling, or at least make sure that your eyelids are softened. And start notice the sound of your breath since you are more in the present moment. The sound of your inhale and exhale might be more audible. And just follow the sound. Pay attention to the start of each inhale and the end. Perhaps the space in between. And the beginning of each exhale. And all the way out. Now stringify all those actions. Just let your attention flow with your breath all the way from the beginning of the in to the space in between and all the way to the end of the exhale. And just let the cycles continue. We'll practice Dirgar with Viloma today. Dirgar means 3-part breath. We're going to break each inhale into 3 parts, just like pulling water into a bottle. And Viloma means pause, but work with Viloma only if a pause does not cause anxiety or any other negative feelings for you. Otherwise, you can stick with Dirgar just to break your breath into 3 parts. To begin, bring your hands to your low belly. Inhale 1/3. Feel the rise of your low belly. Another 1/3. Expansion of your rib cage. And all the way in. And exhale, let everything out. Everything fall back. Inhale 1/3, low belly. Another 1/3, move your hands to your rib cage. And last 1/3, hands to your chest, your collarbones. And exhale, let everything out. Bring your hands back to low belly. Let's do it together one more time. Inhale 1/3. Another 1/3. Expand the rib cage. And finish the rest. And everything out. You can adjust the pause between each 1/3. And you can choose your hands by the side or continue moving your hands along with the inhale. So you can create your own Dirgar practice. So imagine the low belly is the bottom of that bottle. You're dumping water into the bottle. So you arrive there first. And if you don't usually practice with breathing with pause, you might notice some resistance from internal. And that's what we're going to work with today. 2 weeks ago, we practiced with the theme of Kappa season, which creates dullness and heaviness because the Kappa season of the spring. And last week, if you attended the class, we worked briefly with resistance, but that was mostly resistance from the heaviness and dullness from the Kappadosha, just like a root or a seed in the soil have to work with the resistance to break out the soil to tip out. And today we're going to work more with the kind of internal resistance. After this round of breath, continue 2 more rounds. And you can continue your eyes closed. Enjoy your legs into your chest. Roll around your ankles. And draw both knees to the left side. Extend your right arm out. Supine twist. Make sure your right shoulder on the ground. To achieve that, might means you have to lift your knees a little bit up from the ground. You can slide a block, a book, a water bottle underneath the knees to give some support over there. And breathe into your right shoulder. Let the space be made over there. And with each inhale, reach into those right fingertips. And bring those knees close to the ground. Just let your body, your mind, your breath settle. And bring your knees back to center. And drop your knees to the right side. You can bring your right hand on the top of the knees to add some weight onto it. And extend your left arm out. Press your left shoulder into the ground. Inhale, breathe into the left shoulder and sending that air all the way to those left fingertips. Now exhale, drop your knees close to the ground. Let the space between your left hip and your left shoulder grow. One more long, big inhale. And exhale, draw both knees back into center. You can release the feet to the ground. You can stay there. You can also lift your left shin, so your left shin be parallel to the ceiling. And adjust your low back, so you pull your navel towards the spine and towards the ground. And if it feels all right, then you lift up the other leg to be parallel with your left shin. Your hands can be by the side, can be behind your head. Inhale, pull the navel towards the ground. And exhale, drop your left foot close to the ground. Open the left hip. Make sure that your left leg still at 90 degrees bent. And tap your left toe to the ground. And bring it back up. And tap the right toe down. And bring it back up. And we'll switch side. Make sure that the whole time that you pull your navel toward the ground. So you're not creating an arch underneath your low back. Slow with control. Move with the pace of your breath instead of the other way around. You can keep the eyes closed. And notice every time when your toes are so close to the ground, the temptation of the gravity might just draw you all the way to the ground. See if you can resist it. And after next time with your right leg, draw both knees into the chest. You can add some rocks side to side, add some circles on the ground. And once you're ready, bring the legs back to where it is. Your shin bone parallel to the ceiling. And your knees right above your hip joints. And drop your left foot, tap it to the ground. And brush your left heel all the way out. Extend your left leg long. Make sure your lower back still to the ground. And draw your left leg in. And lower your right leg down. Brush your right heel out. And bend your right leg in. Tap your left toe to the ground. And brush your left heel all the way to the front. Bend your left leg in. And we'll switch to the right side. Flow in between sides. Make it a circle, just like your inhale and breath and exhale. And the fact that you're extending your legs longer, that gives you more resistance because of gravity. Make sure you give yourself rest if you're tired from this. It's just like when we go to the gym, when we lift weights. If you feel when we're tired, we just don't push yourself again to injure yourself. You take a rest and you come back. Once you're done with the right side, next time, bend both legs in, squeeze them into the chest. You can add some rocks side to side, circle around. Whenever you're ready, rock yourself to a cross-leg seat. And we'll stand up with a bit unusual way today. Keep your legs crossed with your hands or without your hands behind you to support yourself to stand all the way up. Uncross your legs, inhale, arms up, and side bend to the left side. Come back to center, and side bend to the right. Right hand, grab your left wrist, come back to center, and fold over the legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on the shin or on the ground, or on the blocks. Uttanasana, and exhale, step your left and right to the back into a high plank. Pull your navel toward the spine and push through your heels toward the back. Press into both palms. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, knees up or down. Bend to your elbows. Hug your elbows in and release all the way to your belly. Keep your hands by your chest. Inhale, lift your chest up. Bhujangasana, baby cobra. And exhale, release down. And push into table or high plank. And push your tailbones up into downward facing dog. If this is first down dog of your practice of the day, make sure that you bend into one leg and another so you can make space safely in the back of those legs. Keep those legs bent. If you feel like pushing your heels toward the ground too much on your hamstrings. Spread your palms and push evenly into those hands. Bottom of the next exhale, release both knees down and come stand on your shins. You can come back into downward facing dog and step your left forward, but if you like to, you can press your palms in front of your heart and shift weight into your right shin. This is really unusual, so do it slow with control. It's fine if you fall out of it. And lift up your left shin and lightly step it forward and lower your pelvis toward the ground. You can also move your right knee slightly away from you. So you open the space at the front of your right leg, the right hip flexor. Release your right hand down. Extend your left arm out. Twist into the left side. Push into the right hand. Revolve your chest toward the sky. Take one big inhale. Reaching the left hand toward the sky, and exhale, release your left hand down. Both palms on the ground. Option to stay here. You can also bring your left arm by your left ear. So the less support you have on the ground, the less surface you have on the ground, the less support you have, the more resistance you're getting from the gravity. So you can also bring, depends on what you're needing right now, you can also bring your right arm by your right ear. Wherever you are, your hands can be on the ground, your arms can be by the ears. Take a big inhale. And exhale, straighten your left leg. Pin your left heel into the ground, half split. Inhale, pull your chest forward. And exhale, straighten your left leg. One more time. This time, both hands on the top of your left thigh. Hugging both thigh bones over the midline. You can stay here, or option 2, pull your right heel in. You can reach back with your right hand. perfect fine to stay here, but if you like to add a little bit more workout on that right glutes, you can practice release the right leg and bring it back in. Just imagine that you have a tennis ball behind your right knee and you're squeezing it, creating that kind of internal resistance. Make sure that you're patting something underneath your knees, especially if you're on a hard surface and if your mat is thin. When we're ready, bring both hands down. Step your left foot back. Knees up or down. Come into a knee plank or high plank. And bend to your elbows. Release all the way into the ground. You can keep your elbows in. This time you can just lift your chest up into baby cobra. You can also straighten both arms. And lift your knees away from the ground into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. If you're in upward facing dog, make sure there's some micro bend in your elbows, so you're not sacrificing the space in your chest. And exhale, lift your tailbones up into downward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. We've been here before, so we're gonna just drop our knees in, knees down, and come up onto our shins. Shift weight into your left shin bone, and lift your right leg to the front into a low lunge. Drop your pelvis toward the ground. Move your left knee slightly toward the back. And if you don't have anything to pad, you can you can fold your mat partially in so you get double padding. Release your left hand down and extend your right arm up, twisting to the right side. Pushing so hard into your left palm so your left shoulder is being pushed away from your left ear. Take one big inhale. And exhale, release both hands down. You can stay here. Keep both hands on the ground for support. You can also increase your right arm by your right ear, reaching that right fingertips toward the front. Option to bring your left arm by your left ear as well. Depend on how much resistance you want to work right now. No matter your hands in the air or in the ground. And exhale, straighten your right leg. Half split, flex your right foot. Inhale, pull your chest forward. And exhale, straighten both legs. Pull your chest forward. And last time, straighten your right leg. Come back and forward. Release both hands on the top of your right thigh. Option to stay here. Option to pull your left heel close to your left sit bone. Keep hugging both thigh bones toward the midline. And extend your left hand toward the back and grab the left ankle. Continue facing your chest forward. If you decide to focus on the stretch of your left quadriceps, you can stay here. Otherwise, you can release your left foot down. And just imagine there's a tennis ball behind your left knee and squeeze it in. We'll do it a couple more times.
Last time, bring both hands down and step your right foot back. You can keep your knees on the ground. You can also lift up into a high plank. Bend to elbows. You can stop halfway or all the way to the ground, depends on if you're going to baby cobra or upward facing dog on the inhale. Exhale will meet in downward facing dog. Bring both knees down and sit your hips back and cross your legs with your right shin to the front this time. And bring your hands to the back. You can use it or without it. And stand up and step yourself to the front. We'll flow through rounds of moon salutation today just to honor the full moon that just passed this week. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, shooting the crown of the head out all the way to the front. And exhale, step your left leg back. Release your left knee down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, both hands down, step your right foot back. Knees up or down, move to your vinyasa. And that means you can choose back bend of your choice. Exhale, push into downward facing dog. Perfectly fine if you decide to replace downward facing dog with child pose or table. You can replace the flow with cat and cow, depends on what you're looking for in today's practice. And step your left foot forward. Release your right knee down. Both arms up. And release hands. Step your right foot to meet with your left. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. And hand to heart center. Inhale, raise the prayer up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your right leg back. Release your right knee down. Arms up. Keep hugging both thigh bones towards the midline. Both hands down, step your left foot back. Move to your vinyasa. Step your right foot forward. Release your left knee down. Both arms up. Release hands down. Step your left foot to meet with your right. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Rise all the way up. Hand to heart center. By the side Tadasana. That's one round on each side. Continue 2 more rounds on your own so you can cultivate ownership of your practice. Be left foot back, left foot forward, right foot back, right foot forward. Then repeat it 1 more time. And I'll flow with you quietly. Take your time to arrive the front of the mat. If you're still flowing, take your time. We all meet in the same destination. If you already arrived at the front of the mat, come into Tadasana, bring the hands by the side and close the eyes. Push your feet into the ground. Reflect a little bit on the flow that we just did. With any resistance coming out of the flow, is anything inside of you telling you to rushing through that flow because all the patterns that are imposed on us as a modern society and culture. And how did you work with that kind of resistance? Once you're ready, you can slowly blink open your eyes. Bring your feet together, big toes touching, and your heels slightly open. And lower your hips. You can keep your hands as prayer in front of your heart for now. Chair pose, Uttanasana. Now exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bring your left and right foot back into a high plank. You can move through one round of vinyasa. You can also skip it, directly meet me in downward facing dog. Sometimes more does not mean better. Just like when you go to the gym, the habit doesn't mean it's better for you. And bring your feet together, lift up your left leg. Inhale, reach the left leg high. And exhale, pull your left heel into your left sit bone. Inhale, lift that left knee towards the sky, keep the left leg bent. And exhale, draw your left knee into the chest. Inhale, kick that left knee back toward the sky. And exhale, pull the left knee into the chest. One more time. And step the left foot in between the hands. Release back knee down. Right hand down and come up onto the pinky edge of the left foot. Because we've been doing a lot of strengthening of our legs, so we're gonna make some space in our hips. Use your left hand, gently push open the left knee. Bend your left leg again, lift up your right knee. Keep your right hand down and extend your left arm up toward the sky, twisting to the left side. Release your left hand down and walk your hands to the right side, parallel your feet, and fold over the legs. You can adjust the distance between the feet, depends on how much gravity you want to work with. Your head might or might not land on the ground or on the block if you have them. And if your hands can reach the ground, see if you can practice, just play with lifting your heels up, come up onto the balls of the feet. And I was mentioning before that because you're decreasing the surface between you and the ground, so that means you're losing more support, which is creating more resistance. And once you're done with playing, bend into the right leg, flex your left foot, and straighten your left leg, Skandasana. Bend into the left, straighten the right, and flex your right foot. We'll switch side to side, Skandasana, side lunge. Next time when you bend into the left leg, release your right knee down. If you didn't take the class last week, watch. Can hands on the ground or on the blocks. And you will pulse in between right knee down and lift your right leg up, right knee up, and bring it down, right knee up. And if you practiced with me last time, you might be familiar with this part already. So you can hands on the ground, a prayer in front of your heart, and lift up your right knee, and draw your right knee to meet with your left, like squatting in a chair, and step your right foot back. And draw your right knee to meet with your left, and step it back. You decide which one is the one that you need right now, which one that creates a proper amount of resistance for you to work with, not work against. When you're done, bring both hands down and step your left foot back. Release your knees down, cross your leg with the left shin front, and sit your hips back. We'll come up with or without hands as support again. Because this is something so unusual to us. We might just jump into resistance that we don't want to accept it. See if you can work with it. And step your foot to the front of the mat. Take one big inhale in between the sides. Next, exhale, bring the feet, the big toes touching and heels slightly apart, and sit your hips down into chair pose. You can keep your hands in front of your heart as prayer. Exhale, release down to Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step your right and left into a high plank. You can move through one vinyasa. You can also directly meet me in downward facing dog. Bring both feet together and lift up your right leg. Inhale, lift the back left leg towards the sky. And exhale, bend your right heel into your right sit bone. Point your right knee towards the ground. Inhale, lift that right knee towards the sky. Now exhale, draw your right knee into the heart. Inhale, extend right knee back. Now exhale, draw the right knee in. Last time. And this time, step the right foot in between the hands. Release the left knee down, left hand on the ground. Use the right hand to gently push your right knee open and twist into the right side. Make some space in the right hip socket. And bring your right foot back to the ground again. Lift up your left knee. Extend your right arm up. Release your right hand down. Walk both hands to the left side. Parallel your feet. And fold over the legs. Same thing as the other side. You can come push into both hands if your hands are on the ground. And lift up your knees. Lift up your heels. You can play with bring the weight into the hands instead of the feet. And bend into the left leg, straighten the right, flex your right foot. Bend into the right, straighten your left, flex your left foot. We'll continue switch side to side. Next time when you bend into the right leg, and as the other side, you can choose to lower down your left knee and move in between left knee on the ground or lift it up. On the ground or lift it up. You can also choose to hand on the block or in front of the heart and lift your back knee up. And bring your left knee to meet with your right and step it back. You choose what you want to work with. After you're done with playing, bring both hands down and step your right foot back. Release your knees down. Cross your leg with your right shin forward. Use your hand or hands in front of the heart and stand yourself all the way up. Using the resistance between the legs, which now is kind of support for you to come all the way up. And step your feet to the front of the mat. Take a big, deep breath in between. And bring the big toes touching and heels slightly apart. And sit your hips down into chair pose. This time, see if you can bring the arms by the ears, which adds a little bit more gravity to work with because you're longer. Now exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Now exhale, step by step, or hop directly into chaturanga. We all meet in downward facing dog. Bring the feet together. Lift up your left leg and bend your left knee. Lift your left knee into the sky and pull the left knee into the chest and step it between the hands. Keep your right knee lifted this time. Right hand down. Extend your left arm up, twisting to the left side. You can stay here. You can also walk your right hand outside of your left foot. Use a resistance between your right arm bone and your left leg bone to create a steady foundation here. And release both hands down, walk yourself to the right side. Parallel your feet and fold over the legs. You can stay in this folding. You can also play as last round that bring weight into your hands, come up onto the balls of your feet. And if you like to include upside down in your practice today, you're warmed up for that. If you're upside down, slowly come down. And bend into the right leg. Draw your hands in front of the heart of the prayer. Bend into the left leg, straighten the right. And switch side to side, Skandasana. As usual, if you feel like you need more support, you can keep your hands on the ground. And both hands down to the bend left leg. So many options here. You can keep your right knee down and just pause in between, lift up and keep it down. You can hands on the block and draw your right knee into the left, into a squat. You can hands up prayer and draw your right knee into the left. And last option that I'm offering here is bring your arms by the ears and draw your right knee into the left. Steady with control. When you're done, bring both hands down and step your feet to the back into high plank and sit back. This time, see if you can not crossing your legs, not counting on the resistance between the legs, and start make your feet close to each other. Come all the way up. We're just gonna use a lot of strength on this part, which we don't usually exercise, and step yourself forward. Take a deep breath in between. And bring your big toes together. Inhale, sit into chair, Uttanasana. Bring your arms by the ears. Exhale, fold the legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, step by step, hop directly into a chaturanga. And exhale, we meet in downward facing dog. Bring your feet together and lift up your right leg. Pull your right heel into your right sit bone and lift up your right knee toward the sky and step the right foot in between the hands. Keep your left knee lifted if you can. Press your left hand down and extend your right arm up, twisting to the right side. Option to stay here, option to walk your left hand outside of your right foot. Notice that resistance between that left arm bone and your right leg bone. Release both hands down and walk your hands to the left side, parallel your feet and fold over the legs. And if you've been practicing, bring weight into your hands onto the balls of feet. Perhaps this is the place that you can play with gravity by give a little couple times at the top. Or you can continue to come into upside down, forearm stand or headstand. Depends on your current capacity. Once you're done, bend into the left leg, straighten the right, and draw your hands in front of your hardest prayer. Bend into the right, extend your left, flex your left foot, bend into the left. Switch in between. We'll meet in right leg bending. Frame the right foot with both hands. Same thing, you can choose any of the offering that I provided earlier. You can keep your knees down and lift it up. You can hands on the ground, hands on the blocks, hands as a prayer in front of your heart. You can also bring both arms by the ears. Bring your fingertips to your left heel and draw your left knee into the right and step it back. Release both hands down. Step your right foot back. Release the knees down and sit back. You can continue across the legs, but you can also step both feet down without crossing legs. With the support of hands behind you without it, and come all the way up. And step yourself forward. Catch your breath. And whenever you're ready, raise your arms up. Exhale, slowly lower your hips toward the ground. And just let your hips drop on the ground. If you have a blanket, fold it. If you have a pillow, a block, bring it underneath your hips. And we'll bring the feet, the soles of the feet together first. And draw the heels toward the pelvis. Holding the feet with the hands. And bend the elbows, pushing the knees open. Baddha Konasana. Fold over. Just let the practice with that internal resistance sink in. All the shapes that we practiced today was just serving as a container that how we create things that in our life off the mat so we can carry it out when we are off the mat. Slowly come back up, open the legs, flex both feet. Upavishta Konasana, wide leg, seated fold. Inhale, reaching tall through the crown of the head. And exhale, walk your hands toward the front. Use the blocks in front of you to catch your forehead if you like to. And start slowly walk the hands back to you. Bend your right leg, bring your right foot into your left inner thigh. And chest facing your right knee. Reaching tall through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend your left, bring your left arm by the left leg. And bring your right arm by the right ear, Janu Sirsasana. All the way up. Bring the hands behind you. And lift your hips up into reverse table so we can reopen the space that we've been compressing in our front hips. And release the hips down. Extend your right leg long. And draw your left sole into your right inner thigh. Facing your chest towards your left knee. Flex your right foot, reaching tall through the crown of the head. And reaching your right hand towards your right foot. Extend your left arm by your left ear and side bend to the right. Last big inhale. And exhale, come all the way up. Come back into reverse table again. Release the hips down. Find the block that nearby and lower down all the way to your back. Bring the feet close to your sit bones. Lift your hips up. Slide the block underneath your hips into supported bridge. You can open your arms. You can cactus your arms if you like to open your chest more. And if you feel like you have the more energy for the practice, you can slide away the block for an active bridge pose tonight. Coming back to the shapes that we're familiar with, that give us a space to think, to reflect that how did we do with those resistance coming out of unfamiliar shapes? Did we jump into denial, anger, giving up? And through practice on the mat, that we bring our attitude toward the kind of internal resistance of the mat whenever we are encountered with something that we're not familiar with in the life. Maybe a person, maybe a race, maybe a culture, or perhaps simply it's a different food. Slide the block underneath your hips if you moved away. And extend your both legs long. Continue to open the front hips that we've been closing. And bend your legs in. Remove the blocks. And cross your right ankle over your left knee. Use your right hand, gently push the right knee open. If you like to, if your body is longing for some outer hip stretch, you can draw your right ankle and your left knee into the chest. Thread your right arm between the window and interlace your fingertips in front of the left shin and pull that left knee into the chest. Bend your right elbow, which is going to continue to push open the right knee. Figure 4 on the back. Elongate your tailbone by pushing your low back toward the ground while pulling your left knee into the chest, which is going to intensify the stretch of your outer hips as well. Slowly release from it.
Step down on your right foot, cross your left ankle, your left over your right knee. Use your left hand to gently open the left knee. Option to stay here. Option to pull your right knee into the chest. Interlace your fingertips with an unusual way. And use the pull of your hands to bring your right knee close to your chest. And the bend of your left elbow is gonna push out your left knee. In the meantime, push your tailbone toward the ground. So your low back still being elongated. Slowly release from it. If there's any other shapes that you'd like to include in your practice today, use this 1 minute or so to do it. Otherwise, whenever you're ready, spread out your arms, your legs. Just at the beginning of the class, let the back of you sink into space beneath you. Close your eyes if you haven't done so. Shavasana. You can add a blanket over your pelvis area, make it more grounding. If the back of your legs feel too much worked out from the practice today, you can bend them in, bring the soles of feet together for today's Shavasana. You can also pad some blocks underneath your knees. If you're not rushing to anywhere after practice, please feel free to stay where you are. Otherwise, if you're ready, wiggle your toes, your fingertips. And gently sway your head side to side. Bend your leg one another into and roll onto one side. Pause there for a moment. And think how much that you brought out to your practice today, that how much of them that you can bring them off the mat with you. Whenever you're ready, support yourself to come up to a seat. Palms facing down on the top of knees or anywhere else that is not distracting. Take one big inhale. And exhale, let everything out. And if it resonates with you, get your hands in front of your heart one last time. Take one big inhale. And exhale, let it out. One more time, followed by Om. Bow your head towards your heart. Slowly blink or open your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. It's almost a miracle that neither of them that disturbed us. If you have any question or feedback, feel free to reach out to me. I'll turn on your camera and unmute yourself. I'll stop recording. And otherwise, I'll see you next week.